Greetings, everyone. How are you today? Get a load of me. How do you think I am? Not good. Not good. Over the past 24 hours, I've slept for 2. Maybe not even 2. It probably is a little less than 2. And I'm a little bit tired. My drive home was once again a treacherous one. Couple of sleep dips, couple of long eye closes, few frightening moments. I don't know. Starting to become a pattern. Starting to very much become a pattern where every Monday I wind up with about 2. And for some reason, Tuesday I am not able to get a full 8. For some reason, I've slept for 4 and I'm up and can't go back. But we'll see tonight, won't we? We'll see if we can catch up, because it would be wonderful. It'd be wonderful to get a nice block. 5, 6. That'd be something. Anyway, let's see. You notice I'm back inside. And I don't know if you can notice anything else, but back to the old mic. No filters. LED. You probably all know it. I know some of you even know what tungsten is now, don't you? I bet you can't wait to go tell all your friends, because that's what I'm doing. Anyway. All right. So, I was driving to work last night, and I started to think, I always listen to music as I'm going to work just to kind of relax me or get me pumped up or whatever. And I started thinking, I wonder if it's actually the music that affects my mood, like elevates it or calms me, or that I'm already in a specific mood and the music just kind of enhances it or reinforces it. It was something I was thinking about. I don't know why, but I was. Last night and this morning when I was driving home. And I'm even thinking about it now, which is why I'm sharing it with you. You fortunate person. Or people. There's probably a couple of you watching this, aren't there? At least 2. Well, I appreciate it anyway. And for you listening to this ramble, God bless you. Even if you're atheist. I don't know where I'm going with that. So anyway, yeah. Last night, while I was at work, we got a call that a patient had disappeared. Just got up, walked away. Nobody knew where they were. So they called us to give us a description of the person. I guess they happened to be in the same town. So they figured if we see them walking by, give them a call. So it was, can you imagine if it's like your family member or something like that, and you call to ask for them and they're not there, they don't know where they are? I'd be concerned. It's not like they let them out. I mean, most of these places, have security and passcodes to get through the doors, and who knows what really happened. But this is not the first time. I've seen this happen in a lot of other places. But yeah, it could be concerning for family members that their loved ones, depending on their state, could just wander off and be on their own. But yeah, probably wasn't the best thing to hear last night. Fact of life. So yeah, what else? So there was a lot of well, since the jobs had opened up, with our assistant general manager leaving, we've had a lot of discussion about who might take over. And a lot of people have varying opinions or thoughts, and some of them are not positive, and I think a lot of people would prefer that there was no position, that there really wasn't anybody. Everybody just kind of do the work that they know they have to do and get it done. I mean, I think there's people already monitoring like what is supposed to be done, and maybe a lot of people feel it's a position that's not necessary, and a lot of people, and this is not really directed at anybody, but there's a lot of people that fall into this area, and I think I've done it myself before in the past, but catching myself is that once you start getting like pseudo promoted, and you start having some position of authority, even though it's not really authority. I mean, it's more of a leadership and guidance, that you become supervisor or manager of certain people. You kind of you start looking. You don't look them in the eyes anymore. You kind of start looking down at them, and some people do that without even being in a position of any type of authority, and it's something to really guard against, as a person. I think you want to be careful of who you're how you're coming across, because people are going to remember that. I mean, it's going to stick out, and it's going to help determine whether or not they want to work with you or against you. And in a lot of workplaces, that's what happens, depending on how you communicate, how you come across. Either they're going to work with you or against you. Those are the two facts. I've seen it myself. I needed to learn, myself. And there's a good quote. I saw this yesterday, and it was how did it go? It was you should never really look down on someone unless you're helping them up. Which is pretty good. It's a pretty good thought, because maybe it'll ground you a little bit more in how, how people are reading you, and it might determine whether or not you're a likable or not likable person. And maybe some people don't care, and if that's the case, who really does care, right? I don't know. I thought I'd just bring it up because there was another thing that we were talking about. I was talking about with other coworkers. It's in certain places, in certain work areas, and I don't know if it's Massachusetts or New York or larger cities, but there's a certain politeness or courtesy, or maybe even etiquette that is just kind of non-existent, and when people page overhead, they don't say, please pick up a call. It's that one word. It's that word please. It really doesn't exist in a lot of places. And this is something I stuck out to me right away when I first started, because, I come from one place. Actually, I worked in 10 different pharmacies, and all of them use the word please, and that's in Connecticut and Rhode Island and Vermont and Maine and New Hampshire. But for some reason, Massachusetts I never heard the word please do this or please do that, and it was, I don't know. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but it's just more direct. It's not as personal. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of times if you say please, somebody might be more willing to do something, instead of, do this, do that. I mean, depending on the task that you're trying to complete, I mean, like, if you're all doing something and somebody says, hey, you get that, that's fine. But a lot of times just throwing that word in there lightens everything. It lightens any kind of tension that could arise from problems that are, or pressure that, from the work that's going on. But anyway, just random thoughts, because I know you really want to hear what I'm thinking. You really don't, do you? I don't know. What are you going to do? So, anyway, there was another joke that I had told. I don't remember if I mentioned this or not, but last Friday when I had gone filming, we had done a bunch of jokes. I don't remember if I mentioned it before, but oh yeah, I think I did talk about the doing the man on the street. The man on the street interviews were kind of interesting. That goes back 2 Fridays now, and I don't know why I was thinking about it, but I was thinking about how we come across all these strange people. It was the strangest bunch I've ever seen. I mean, like, I'm talking hookers and convicts and just emo dudes and weird people. You know, it was strange. And well, I don't know. I was thinking back to the last couple of filming sessions I've done, and the joke one again. You know, I don't know. I don't know how much time. What am I at? Maybe I'll tell it. Okay. So anyway, this is one joke that I thought of that I thought was kind of funny. You know, so there's a guy, and this is not going to be PG, by the way. You know, there's a guy. He's got a 25-inch penis. Okay, and it's really affecting his lifestyle. You know, his love life is not. You'd think that it would probably be pretty good, but it wasn't. Okay, it just nobody would be able to be with a man who had 25-inch penis. Okay, so anyway, he tried everything. He tried a plastic surgeon. He tried everything he could to try to get it down to a normal size penis, which, well, who really wants to say what that is? So anyway, 25-inch penis. He's exhausted all his options, and somebody suggested that he go to this witch doctor. You know, so he had already tried everything else, so he figured, what the hell, I'll give it a shot. You know, so he goes to the witch doctor. He says, yes, I've got just the thing for you. You know, if you go to this specific mystical pond and you find this specific frog on this specific lily pad, all you have to do is ask him to marry you, and every time he says no, you'll reduce your penis by 5 inches. Okay, so the guy thinks, what a kook. What, are you kidding me? All right, I might as well try it. I've got nothing else. I'm going to go for it. Finds the mystical pond. He finds the frog on the lily pad. He relents and says, will you marry me? And the frog turns to him and says, no. 5 inches shrinks off his penis. Just like that. He thought, this is incredible. I can't believe this. This is actually happening. And he's looking down and he's like, you know, I still got a 20-inch penis here. Another 5 probably wouldn't be too bad. So he says to the frog again, will you marry me? The frog says, no. 5 more is gone. It's down to 15 inches now. The guy's thinking, this is unbelievable. I cannot believe this actually works. He's thinking to himself, he goes, 15 inches is still kind of a monster here. 5 more would be perfect. 5 more, I think that'll do it. He says to the frog, will you marry me? And the frog says, no, no, and for the last time, no. Did you get it? That was 3 times. That would be all 50. I don't know why I'm explaining this. I mean, you should have probably figured that out. Maybe you didn't think it was funny. I hadn't considered that. Anyway, maybe I shouldn't share these jokes. Maybe I should find a better way to tell them. I don't know. Anyway, what was the thing that I was thinking about? Well, yeah, driving to work. One of my headlights was out. Got to get that replaced today. Actually, I'm going to have my brother do it. I got to go to bed. I'm tired. What else is there? Well, there was some other subject I was going to talk about, but I'll probably save it for another day. Yeah. I think I've... some of my coworkers, I probably opened my mouth too much, you know, because I think I've got people mad at me, which I really see why. I don't think I really did anything. I think people might assume that things were said that really might not have been said or not in the right context. You know, certainly I'm not the kind of person that would talk about somebody behind their back, you know, which has a really negative connotation to it, which it just wouldn't do it. I mean, I'm very trustworthy, you know, with private information. And it's, you know, it's upsetting that someone might think that you would do that. But anyway, I'm sure things could get smoothed out sooner or later. Maybe, hopefully. Let's see. So while I was thinking about my coworkers, you know, another thing that happened on St. Patrick's Day? This came back to me last night for some reason. Maybe it was because I had some ice. But I had mentioned at one point we had gone out for pizza. And, well, we all had ice water, and as the ice water was finished, there was still some ice in the glass. Well, one of the girls had decided to chew up all her ice, and then she had run out, and then she took my ice. Now, I think I said something about, her taking my ice, and she felt compelled to spit it in my face, I'm really not sure why. Maybe she thought she was giving it back to me, like, here's your ice back. But that was kind of weird, don't you think? Do you think it's weird? I don't remember thinking anything but, who would do that? Who would do that? But now I know. I know somebody that would do that. Yeah, there was a lot of little crazy things that happened. And as I remember them, maybe I'll share them. So anyway, I think this episode has gone on long enough. I gotta get some sleep. So, with my trusty little remote control, I shall end yet another episode of Day After Day. My sleepless nights and my sleepless days. Good night, everybody.